So when we look at purpose, it's always about something far greater than yourselves. And that, of course, is often for many is the gift of children. So let's take that one off the table for now and just say that I'm looking, or you are looking at your life and saying, what is my purpose? Why am I here? Where can I make a difference? We've talked about this many times, is where do you get to be a contribution? Where do you make a difference in somebody else's life? We have had, different segments where we've talked about where do you get to show up to bring your gift to elevate those around you in a powerful way. And is that your purpose? Now, this is a conversation that kind of seems normal to us. And I'm bringing this up because Alan and I talked about this on our podcast. I mean, this is a guy who has worked with literally tens of thousands. I mean, he's 73 years old. He's been originally part of the Landmark series, the Landmark coaching programs. He was significant in that. Like, he's literally worked with thousands. And he said it's one of the biggest challenges that they face is people finding their purpose.
Yeah. I think because we've conflated passion and purpose, and I think the difference is that if we can remove the emotion of passion and link it to purpose, then I think that a lot of the people that we work with, or the people, I don't know a lot about the Landmark work, but I understand that it's very powerful and it's extremely inspiring for many, many people. But when you remove passion and say, okay, I know what you love to do, I know what you're passionate about. Like, maybe you're passionate about the environment, you want to save the whales, but you can't do that if you don't have a purpose. You don't have a driving why. Why do you want to save the whales? Why? Because what I've discovered over the years with my clients is that a lot of times the passion becomes the excuse. It becomes an excuse not to actually commit to their purpose, commit to the long-term pain. And that's another P, is that there's a lot of pain if you're driven by passion, less pain if you're driven by purpose, in my experience.
So there's a couple of things around all of this, is that understanding that fulfillment lives in contribution when you're being a contribution to others. So if you can sit back and go, why am I here? What is my purpose? Well, at its core, your purpose is to be a contribution outside of yourself. That is really why we're on this planet, I believe. Now, some of you may be saying you're full of shit, Francie, and I don't agree with you, and that's fine. But really look at, where do you get your fulfillment from? Where do you feel the best? Is when you're generally, for most, is when you're making a difference in others' lives. And that's what we're trying to kind of, in a long conversation, get you connected to, which is around the purpose. Now, to expand on that, because there's one other P that we didn't touch on, and that was profit. Because here's the thing about it. You can live your purpose, which is bigger and greater than you. It is outside of you, but is profitable. It is a way to, it's kind of an ideal situation when you get to make a difference in other people's lives, to be a contribution, to live your purpose, to live that life that lights you up and be paid for it. And that's a pretty great place to be. And so when we can be passionate about our purpose and we can profit from it, wow, have we ever got a winning combination? Because we want to get out of bed in the morning. We want to go do what we love to do. We want to interact and do what lights us up. And that's a pretty big deal. And we've been pretty blessed, in spite of all the challenges that we have faced over the years.
Or the pressure.
It's probably my fault. I'm just saying is that is really a great life to live. And I can tell you that within the programs that we've coached, with the people we've coached, that is always where we want to direct people. What is it that you're all about in your life? What do you want to add to that?
Well, I think the biggest thing is that we take all of the P's and we see what motivates individuals. Like, we're all motivated by different things. But what if, just consider for a moment, is that in our lifetime, what if we are connected to people? What if we are connected to purpose? What if we're connected to pressure? What if we're connected to profit? and purpose and all the things. What if it's all one thing? What if we look at our lives and don't say we're motivated by, profit? Well, you know what? If you're only motivated by profit, that's really limiting. And, yay for you for making a shit ton of money or something. But if you don't have the other 5 or 6 P's, how deep is your life? Like, we have one life. Life is short. And we have an opportunity to make a difference. Right now in our world, profit is not the only thing that can drive people. If it is, it's going to get really shallow. Pressure is not the only thing that drives people. Honestly, when you think about pursuit, if you're only just driven by one thing, it's going to get really old. Because eventually when you get that Olympic medal or that Stanley Cup, now what? Right? Back to our conversation about now what?
And people come and people go. People come and people go.
Yep.
So whatever it is that motivates you, the first step is always to bring your awareness to what it is that, lights you up. What is it that kind of inspires you and motivates you? And then creating the environment for yourself to do that. So if you're feeling on an ongoing basis for an extended period of time unmotivated or unfulfilled, or feeling like you're not making a difference in this world, or asking yourself, why the hell am I even here? One of the conversations that is good to enter, one of the awarenesses to bring yourself to is, what is my purpose? What really, in fact, lights me up, where I'm making a difference in the world that isn't just about me? And so these are conversations that are incomplete. Let's face it, it's not a complete conversation. But if we can get you asking yourselves some questions, then that will lead to hopefully bigger and greater things.